Yo, yo, yo. What is up, everybody? Good morning, good day, whatever time it is for you. I hope it's good. Um, 1st of June, man. 1st of June. Uh, Happy Wednesday, everybody. It's good to be back, as always. I hope everybody's day is going well. This would be what, day 12 of Valheim? Is that right? 13? Day 13 of Valheim, excuse me. Day 13 of Valheim. We're gonna try and see when we might be able to push for this third boss, Bone Mass, apparently, and yeah, see if we can't get that done sometime soon, today, tomorrow, something like that. But before we hop in there, let's do what we do, right? And take a look at our video gaming news. As we do as we do. Yeah, you guys ready? Let's go. Let me move this camera real quick. Uh, cool. All right, all right. See what we can find out. See what we can get into here. We saw this yesterday. um, France is banning English video game terms, use of video game terms spoken in English um, within their what do they have going on? It's a let's see here. Make sure I don't get this wrong. Uh, Shut your mouth. Thought it was specifically in regards to some kind of event they were holding. I can't actually remember off the top of my head right now. Is it? Did they say that they were banning it, or that they're not banning this all the way around, right? Like you're not going to get in trouble if you run around speaking English, right? Which one was this? Let me see. Just French officials have banned the use of various English video game related terms, including words like streamer, pro gamer, and esports, from its government. Yeah, I don't think it's going to work very well. We talked about it yesterday. I mean, again, one of the great things about video games is it has brought so many people together. Even if you're not uh, able to communicate in the same language or whatever, it has prompted people to learn different languages. It's just a great way of communicating and collaborating with people across the world. France apparently has issue with certain terms being used in English, so they're banning them. I don't think it's going to work very well, but you know. Retro game collector accused of selling $100,000 worth of intricate. We'll see there. And Xbox games with gold revealed for June. Take a look at that. Yeah, I don't know. Just banning the terms to maintain language purity. Um, if there's anything we know about language, it evolves, right? It evolves over time. So many words within each respective language are actually, there's so many words in each respective language that are, derived from other languages. Um, and that's how language evolves over time. So I don't know. I mean, it seems to me like they're basically trying to hinder the inevitable, um, as opposed to just like embracing this fact and also trying to turn the terms into something useful in the French language. I don't know. Bit weird. Elon Musk gets into an embarrassing fight with video gaming site and loses. Okay, we'll see what that's about. World of Warcraft wants you to promise you'll be nice to people. Introduction of a social contract. Really? Don't Nodders. What is this? Don't Nod Entertainment is now named Don't Nod. Has 6 games in development. We'll see what that is. Same name, right? It's just spelled and looks different. There's a space and an apostrophe now. It's still called Don't Nod. This man built a $30,000 gaming room modeled after a Star Citizen spaceship. Too bad he'll never actually get to enjoy Star Citizen full release in that room. We'll take a look at that. Summer Games Fest 2022 developers and publishers revealed. We knew a lot of them already, but let's take a look. June's Xbox update lets players reveal secret achievements. Okay, cool. Let's take a look at that. Looks like there's a few deals going on right now, so we'll take a look at that as well, just in case anybody's interested. We're filling up this morning. Page 2, we got a lot of articles already. eFuse acquires prominent gaming news destination. We'll see what that's about. Yo, we talk about this all the time. Crypto gaming may promise you riches, but the reality is very different. We talk about this a lot because of how prominent and how much the industry is trying to drive these crypto games that are incorporating NFTs and blockchain. There are people that have made some money. There are a lot of people that have lost a lot of money in regards to these types of games. Yeah, so um, just be very careful. We've talked about it so much. I'm not going to dive into this article this morning. As much as we talk about it, I feel like everybody should be able to have a pretty good understanding of what's going on here and form their own opinion. My advice is to stay away. You are setting yourself up, in my opinion, to get skamazed, to lose money if you dive into these kinds of games right now. So I would just stay away if you can. If you're actually planning on diving in, do plenty of research, please. 16 exciting new games coming to Switch. We'll take a look at that. Viewed and Air Console collaborate to bring casual gaming to the TV. Let's see what that's about. France banning English gaming phrases. It honestly just comes off as France having an issue with countries that have that's because this wouldn't be the first time they've done something in spite of um, English speaking countries. Obviously, United States being primarily one, but I mean that's just the way it kind of comes off, and I know there's a lot of negative connotation that goes along with stereotyping goes along with Americans and America, and rightfully so. Yo, Mamzelle, what's up, my friend? Over the past, how many years, there's been so much that I've even seen come from my own country that I'm just, kind of appalled and ashamed of. So I don't know, man. But that's kind of the way it comes off. Don't get me wrong. I feel very, very fortunate to be part of this country, to have been born here. There are some dire places in the world that you know I feel fortunate, but there's no denying the fact that there's some significant issues within our country and the way it's run and government and things like that. So I don't know, but it does come off as a little bit of a hit at you know a real kind of like low key hit at America a little bit, banning gaming terms that are English in origin. Yeah. What's up, Manzel? Let's pivot here. We have this pulled up already. Yeah, lots of benefits to video games. We've talked about that a lot, so I'm not going to dive in here. But if you're interested, do your research. Significant improvement of cognitive functioning, and things like that, especially when playing certain types of games. So it can help disabilities. It can just increase cognitive functioning. There's a lot of benefits to video gaming. Even though the world right now and the news would like to blame video games for so many of the bad things happening, there's been plenty of research that negates that premise. China video gaming crackdown. No new titles approved in May, signaling continued Beijing hostility. You know, China's got a real. China's government seems like they absolutely hate the video game industry. Yeah. Um, for the majority of this year, they have not allowed any kind of games to be released. What was it? They finally, about a month and a half, 2 months ago, they were like, okay, here's 40 approvals for games. So many devs had just been sitting there with a backlog of games to be released, and the government was putting basically a constraint on anybody being able to release their games. Now you have to have approvals from the government and stuff, and they let like 40 go about a month and a half ago, and now it's just nothing again. Kind of wild. We're gonna talk. We'll see. We'll bring it up. Talk about it. We talked about this. I'm not gonna dive into it. Video games have been used as a scapegoat for world issues forever and again. So much research has come out to disprove those notions. That's about unionization. We've talked about that already. Yeah, we've already talked about this as well. That's Square Enix selling off North American development studios to Embracer Group, and the IPs of Tomb Raider, Deus Ex, and Thief. Talked about this yesterday. Apparently, Diablo Immortal will not be released in Belgium and the Netherlands because of loot box issues. Yep, we had a good discussion about that yesterday. It was a really good discussion, I feel, just regarding what gambling is considered in games in general, and how certain um, governmental agencies won't allow those games within their borders. You know. 1 second, guys. All right. Retro game collector accused of selling $100,000 worth of intricate forgeries. Nice. The man has allegedly been selling fake expensive games since at least 2015. Blackjack on a kids site. What? But it wasn't a site that you could actually like pay real money and stuff, right? No. It was a legitimate kids site you could play blackjack on. Seems like grooming people to get to like get. Look, I mean, here's the thing though. Uh, Card games are a lot of fun, right? Card games are a lot of fun. Yeah, and there's no actual money involved and stuff, right? Look, man, card games are a lot of fun, and I mean, I that you bring up a really good point, Mamzelle. You bring up a really good point. Um, if there's not real money being involved, it's not gambling, right? And uh, I love card games. I've always loved playing poker, you know, and I'm not very good at it, but I enjoy it. And there are a lot of great just card games out there. I mean that used to be a significant way for people to pass their time, right? Card games, uh, dominoes, what have you. But card games for sure, right? And there's so many of them out there. Oh, you can buy cards to get the online currency. Really? Oh, wild. That's wild. And it was aimed at children? That's nuts. Wow. That's crazy. I mean, look, it wouldn't be the first time that a business or people had tried to take advantage of uh, young, impressionable people, right? So I'm good at blackjack today. Man, there's something to be said for it, right? I mean, it brings up a good point though, the fact that, you know, there's a stigma that goes along with a lot of those games nowadays, right? Where it's like playing card games is gambling. That's not necessarily the case. You can absolutely play a lot of games that don't involve real money. I mean, even to the point of like slot machine games and stuff, digital slot machine games. If there's not actual money involved, it's just a good time. It's just people having fun, right? Um, but whenever real money does become, part of that picture, um, we start getting into some different kind of territory there, right? Um, so I don't know. That's actually a really good point to bring up. That's wild. I didn't know that. It doesn't surprise me really. I guess there are so many people are always going to try to take advantage of younger, impressionable people. Right? That's just the way it is. I don't know. Feels bad, but that's wild. That's wild. I'd never even heard of that site. Google search this real quick. It's a social networking. It's like a online community type thing, huh? Anime themed social networking and forums based website with chibi style animations. That's what got Mamzelle right there. It's those little chibis, man. It was founded as Go Gaia on February 18th, 2003, and the name was changed to Gaia Online in 2004 by its owner, Gaia Interactive. Is that, am I pronouncing that right? Gaia? Gaia originally began as an anime link list and eventually developed a small community. Following a statement by founder Derek Liu, the website moved towards social gaming and eventually became forum based. 2007, over a million posts were made daily and 7 million unique users visited each month, with over 26 million total registered users, of one which we know of. Gotcha, Mamzo. Uh, Guy also won the 2007 Webware 100 award in the community category and was included in Time Magazine's list of 50 best websites of 2008. Got your avatars and currency used known as Gaia Platinum. Well, I mean, I wouldn't. If you enjoyed it, if you enjoyed it and you don't feel like you got taken advantage of, I guess, then um, I don't know, embrace it as part of your youth and in growing up with, video game type program platform. Oh yeah, that doesn't surprise me at all. Uh, Paying Gaia users generally spend about $30 per month to purchase Gaia Cash, which is then used to buy virtual goods such as evolving chance collectible and limited edition items. Gold shops, cash shops. Oh baby. Houses and cars and aquariums and oh yeah. Yeah, they got this all set up, huh? Wild. Wild. Yeah, man, cool. Hey, the more you know. Thanks, Mamzelle. I'd never even heard of this. That's wild. At least I don't recall hearing about it. I quite possibly could have at some point. Crazy. Craziness. Hmm. I wonder what the average age range is for people that are actively playing that game or being part of that community. Akalabeth, World of Doom. Retro PC game collecting scene was rocked by an unexpected scandal last week when a prominent member of the community, who is also a moderator of a major Facebook group, was accused of selling people fake copies of classic games. Enrico Ricciardi, who for years has been an active member of the community as a buyer, seller, and source of advice, has been booted from the big box PC game collectors group after several members came forward with evidence they say proves that many of the boxes, floppy disks, and pieces of art he has been selling people are not what they seem. Used to be the centerpieces of my collection, rare and expensive old games. Now it turns out I've been scammed and sold forgeries by a well known figure in the Ultima and Tetro games community, along with many others. Oh, that feels bad, dude. That feels bad. Group's members have collected all their evidence and accusations in a public document, saying that after one member received a suspicious game, supposed copy of 1979's Aklabeth. Yo, Metal, what's up, buddy? That duck is going ham, dude. Neopets. Neopets actually sounds kind of familiar. Yeah. Oh, that was Nickelodeon. Check that noise out. That was a Nickelodeon. 1999. Woo! Now, the real question is how many people actually had a Gigapet or a Tamagotchi? That's the big question. That's what I need to know. How many of our community actually had Gigapets or Tamagotchis? That's where it's at. This guy did. You know what I've actually thought would be really cool is to like make it to where just like kind of a panel on people's channels. If somebody was to like create kind of a digital pet that they could take care of, very sleepy but good, good buddy. I'm all right, man. My throat's still a little sore. Still got a little bit of obviously yours truly, yeah. Uh, I'm still a bit under, but dude, I feel much better today than I did yesterday, and I was better yesterday than I was the day before. So I'm trending in the right direction. I can't get enough sleep right now, guys. It's really wild. Yeah, thanks, Mamzo. Yeah, my throat is better. It's still a little bit sore, but it is nowhere near where it was yesterday. Um, but I legit, I quit streaming yesterday. I ate lunch and I passed out for like 4 hours. And guys, I'm getting like 8 hours of sleep a night. Uh, it is not affecting my sleep at night. I'm taking like 4 to 5 hour naps during the day. This whole time I've been sick. It's wild, man. This thing has had me beat up. Um, I literally haven't been doing anything but just trying to rest. It's really weird. Like I ate lunch, I passed out, I fell asleep like that, and I slept for like 4.5 hours, and woke up, spent the evening just laying around, taking care of the YouTube stuff, and but most of it was just relaxing. And I went back to sleep for another 8 hours last night. It's like this thing is brutal. It's had me torn up, man. But I do feel better. I do feel better. That's one of the things I was thinking though would be like kind of cool. So many people can play like the Pokemon game, right? Um, we have friends, streamer friends that do the Pokemon game, and you have it in a panel and everything, and it comes up in you know, once a new Pokemon appears or whatever. I think it might have been. Yeah, I think it might have been. I didn't really test. The thing is, one of our household members um, apparently got it from another family member, an extended family member, and didn't know that that member was sick at the time. Then we found out they were sick, and they tested positive. Yep, and I'm just assuming it was, just assuming it was, or is, and it spread through my entire family. So we've been just quarantining and trying to take care of ourselves. Yeah, feels bad. Feels bad. The thing is, the family member that got it, like extended family member, and everybody living in that household got it as well, and they tested positive. I didn't feel like there was actually a need to test. I'm just assuming it was. Yep. So it's brutal. It was brutal. Another reason why I think it probably was. It was just miserable, miserable. Again, luckily I didn't I didn't lose my appetite, but I don't know. Crazy times, man, crazy times. Um, just like the Pokemon game though, like on a panel, I would love for an app or widget or something to be created where it was like the old school or even a newer spin. Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming that that's what it is. I don't have a test here, everybody's been sick. We haven't been going anywhere. So going and like grabbing a test or anything like that was kind of out of, we're obviously not going to go into town and like go be around other people while we're sick and risk exposing other people to it. You know what I mean? So we've just been quarantining ourselves here together, being a family of sickies, and you know, yeah, I'm about 99% positive that's what it is. Yeah. And we've just been doing our best to rest as much as possible, drink fluids, you know, take care of ourselves. I'm working my way out of it. One of our other immediate family members has already been through it. The person that got it first, and they were down for a good 3.5 days, and we got two more here in the house that are trying to kick it right now too. So we're just trying to stay here and not expose other people and get rid of it. This is the first time. This is the first time I've had it. I'm sure that's what it was is, and I don't know. I had felt very fortunate to not have gotten it. We'd been very careful, and can't lift your arms. Are you sore or something? We had been very careful, and we have nobody in the immediate family had it up to this point, but I think we all have had it now. Yeah, but I think a panel would be cool, like to where each individual person that was like within uh, the channel hanging out or whatever part of the community, they could like kind of take care of their own little like digital pet or whatever, kind of like the old Tamagotchis and Gigapets were on a panel, at the channel. And if certain things were needed from the pet, it would like prompt you individually or whatever. I think that'd be pretty neat. Um, Jim, yeah, that's what I figured. Yeah, well, that's another thing that sucks is I'd gotten into a pretty good schedule of working out consistently finally, and then got sick obviously, and I haven't been able to work out at all. So I'm just turning into a big old fat blob again. Uh, Good on you for being in the gym though, Mamzo. Saying that after one member received a suspicious game, a supposed copy of 1979's Akalabeth, World of Doom, which was developed by Richard Garriott before he started the Ultima series, and is one of the first RPGs ever made, they began to poke around other titles that had been sold by Ricciardi, and found many of these were a little off as well. Comparing Ricciardi's games to originals owned by other members, the group quickly found a number of discrepancies with the former, like game labels being hand cut instead of machined, marks on supposedly decades old stickers that could have been made with modern printers, and slight differences in things like fonts and logo placement. You can see these examples yourself here and here. Yeah, I know. Yeah, it sucks. Hmm. Upon a additional closer review of the Mystery House, I discovered that instruction sheet is a digital reproduction. Looking very closely, the pages exhibit a very fine dot pattern of cyan and magenta ink in what should be empty blank space. This strongly indicates a reproduction from a scan. The brownish tan color of the paper makes it harder to see without very close examination under good lighting. Most damning evidence presented, though, was that in many cases the discs had been sold by Ricciardi were blank, something many buyers were only discovering now that they had been prompted to check. If you're thinking to yourself, why didn't these guys check that before? We're talking about discs and tapes that are in some cases over 40 years old, which, as the big box PC game collectors members explained, means doing this isn't always the best idea. With multiple members having now compared the games they received from Ricciardi to other legitimate copies, become clear that he has been selling these intricate fakes for years, since at least 2015, covering everything from old Sierra and Origin games to multiple copies of Ultima, Escape from Mount Drash, Akla Beth, and Mystery House. Wildly, it's even believed that while most of Ricciardi's fakes were sold directly to buyers, the group says there's at least one black box Ultima 1 we think may be fake that was graded by WATA. Wow. Estimated that Ricciardi has been involved in at least, what, 100,000 euro? Is that euro? Why does that look different? In transactions of suspected counterfeit games items, which at the time of posting worked out to be roughly 107,000, over 107,000 US. A lot of money, as you'd expect for games both this old and this important. Excuse me. Though, as this group explains in a fact accompanying their post, it's unclear if any legal proceedings are underway or ever will be, since they say the individuals affected are choosing the best recourse for them and do not wish to discuss this publicly. Wow. If you're a collector and this has you a bit spooked, or you're just an outside observer curious about how all this works, the Big Box PC Game Collectors Group have an anti-scammers guide that's an interesting read. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. Feels super bad for those people that got duped. And shame on the individual that did it, man. That's terrible. Terrible. Xbox games with gold for June 2022 revealed. 1 second, guys. Sorry. Okay. Sorry. Microsoft has announced that June's games with gold are Avon Colony, Project High Rise, Architects Edition, Super Meat Boy, and Rascals. As revealed on Xbox Wire, the 4 games with gold offerings will be available to anyone with Xbox Live Gold or Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, with Avon Colony and Super Meat Boy available starting on. Did they mean June 1st? Because that was a month ago. May 1st was a month ago. Avon Colony is a single player city building game set on an alien planet called Avon Prime, with a player tasked with building humanity's first extrasolar settlement. First released on PC and later reworked for consoles, the settlers will need fed, watered, and generally kept happy, even amid the bizarre conditions and landscapes of Avon Prime. Also available on June 1st. Yeah, pretty sure they meant June 1st. But only until June 15th is Super Meat Boy, a chaotic platformer known best for its fast paced and addictive gameplay loop. Yeah, this game is supposed to be amazing. As Super Meat Boy is one of the best modern platformers around, it's infuriating, exasperating, and arduous, also delightful, thrilling, and hilarious. Available later in the month on June 16th is Project High Rise, 2D tower building simulation game that tasks players with building revolutionary skyscrapers, hosting tons of moving pieces. Architects Editions includes the base game plus 5 expansions, taking the game all over the world to Vegas, London, Miami, and more. 7 out of 10 review on IGN was Project High Rise. Last but not least, Rascals is available on the same day, but only available for 2 weeks until June 30th. This 2010 puzzle game was originally released on Xbox 360 and features an extensive single-player campaign alongside multiplayer modes. Players must work their way through each level by smashing the environment and reaching the end in the most efficient way possible. Be sure to redeem May's Xbox games with gold before they leave the service, which includes Yoku's Island Express, The Inner World, Last Wind Monk, Hydro Thunder Hurricane, and Viva Pinata, Party Animals. There you go. For all you Xbox subscribers, Game Pass, yeah, there you go. Take a drink, sorry. Elon Musk gets into embarrassing fight with video game site and loses. Video game satire site Hard Drive just wanted credit, but Musk wanted to make it difficult. Look at his picture. I love it. When I was 6, I peed my pants in class because I was too proud to use my public school bathroom. Wow. Similarly, suave billionaire and alleged Sexual harasser Elon Musk peed his proverbial pants after a Twitter scuffle with the satirical video game site Hard Drive. Neither Musk nor Hard Drive returned a request for comment. On May 30th, Musk posted a screenshot of Hard Drive's article Zodiac Killer Letter. Yo, random mode time. My bad. Get that random mode. Try to get a free sub. Oh no, it's Sag. On May 30th, Musk posted a screenshot of Hard Drive's article Zodiac Killer Letter. Zodiac Killer Letter solved by opening it with VLC Media Player, with the site's name cropped out. This was done in accordance with his belief that online images exist to be stolen. In 2019, Musk tweeted that no one should be credited with anything ever, though he is currently very angry with that President Joe Biden has not yet publicly acknowledged Tesla as a leading electric vehicle company. Look at this. Nice, Menzo. Hey, I'll give you, this is a tweet from Hard Drive. Hey, I'll give you a horse if you stop cropping our name off our articles. Despite his thinking that crediting artists for their work is destroying the medium, Musk did eventually delete the image he swiped from Hard Drive, but it took a battle of wit and stamina to get him there. Which is to say that Musk regurgitated a few aphorisms about art and comedy until Hard Drive skewered his approaches to both, making him presumably turn his Tesla on autopilot, cry his way to yet another shareholder lawsuit. The selfless art of anonymous meme creators is something to be admired. Musk tweeted at the Hard Drive Twitter account after it requested credit twice. Okay, well, let me know what you think about this one, Hard Drive said in response, and posted a link to an article titled, Elon Musk admits he wants to travel to Mars because no one hates him there yet. Musk did not seem like he wanted to steal that one. uh, the reason you're not that funny is because you're woke, he said. Uh, Humor relies on an intuitive and often awkward truth being recognized by the audience, but wokeism is a lie, which is why nobody laughs. A most intriguing observation indeed. It forces us to ponder why Musk reposted Hard Drive at all. The site's being not that funny, quote unquote, and woke clearly proves an affront to his discerning taste and sensibility, which includes allegedly showing an unwilling woman his penis. It is also possible that Musk's condemnation of Hard Drive's wokeism stems from some sort of affinity with the Zodiac Killer, the origin of his Twitter spar. Very funny to me that Elon's example of woke humor is an article making fun of the Zodiac Killer of all people. Hard Drive editor-in-chief Jeremy Kaplowitz said, quote, woke comedy is ruining everything, man. You used to be able to kill a bunch of people in the 60s and write letters to the police about it, but not anymore. Wow. Musk called a Hard Drive writer a coward for blocking him, declared the stolen meme he tweeted to protect a result of a slow meme day, quote, and rounded the night off with another pilfered meme. This one was about putting your phone down and going outside. Hopefully Musk stays online. Who else would defend the Zodiac Killer's honor? Good night, man. Musk buying Twitter has turned into a whole thing, hasn't it? Goodness. Moving on. Uh, this is kind of wild. Before I even dive into this, let me reiterate what how my own personal view on the way. Yo, Mr. Little Bat, what's up, buddy? It's going well, going well. I feel like I'm finally starting to legitimately kick this sickness I've had over the past roughly 5 days. Uh, been pretty brutal, but it's good. It's good to be here, man. Always, and it's good to see you, buddy. How you been? Thanks for asking. Um, there's a big difference in some nice competitive trolling, some nice competitive video game banter. Um, I think that's healthy. I think it's healthy to have a bit of competitive trolling of one another when you play games. Uh, but where it has to stop is whenever it becomes real, like, filled with hate speech. You know, singling people out for whatever types of groups they're in, and um, you know, to the point of being a bigot or just any kind of hate speech in general. That is something that it has no place. It has no place in our world. It has no place in video gaming. Um, you know, so there's a big difference in just having some nice competitive, like trolly type of banter with other gamers, uh, until it crosses that line, right? It should never cross the line of turning into like hate speech and um, things like that, right? Still sore, but better. Right on. Good, buddy. Good. I'm glad you're doing better. Cool. Yeah, man. The sickness I've had was absolutely brutal, and I thought like the first 3 days I was just pushing through and still streaming, and I was like, it won't get worse than this. I felt virtually the same the first 3 days. It wasn't good, but I was good enough to be here, and then um, Sunday and Monday, man, I couldn't even stream. I was just throat was so sore I couldn't talk, couldn't hardly swallow anything, man, and splitting headaches, tons of congestion and stuff. It was terrible, terrible. But I feel so much better now than I did, so I'm just glad to be back and doing what I love to do, man. I hate taking time off from streaming. I absolutely hate it. So, now that I've said my piece, and this community knows how I feel, but these videos go on YouTube. There's no telling who's going to read into this, and I felt it was a good idea to go ahead and put that back out there. Before we dive into what this article is saying, that World of Warcraft wants you to promise you'll be nice to people. That seems a bit soft. Blizzard is reiterating some anti-harassment policies. We'll see what it gets into, because if they're trying to avoid like hate speech and stuff like that, I get it. But just saying that everything is rainbows and lollipops and you can't have a little bit of competitive trolliness between each other, that feels weird. World of Warcraft wants you to agree to be nice to other players with the introduction of a social contract. A social contract. You know, this almost feels like a contract that so many schools used to do. Is like, I won't do drugs. I won't drink alcohol. I'm committed to being alcohol and drug free. When they did that, so like you needed a contract to get kids to say they wouldn't do that stuff. Whenever most of them would just sign it and do what they wanted to do anyways, right? Is that the same thing this is? It was introduced in the PTR a couple of weeks ago and was fully implemented with patch 9.2.5, which landed earlier this week. Azeroth is a living world full of people like you, other players with different backgrounds, cultures, experiences, and histories who have all come together to play World of Warcraft. Contract's introduction reads, every player deserves to have a world they feel safe in. So please take a minute to read our social contract. It's pretty standard fare. Make friends, be nice in dungeons, communicate and behave appropriately, maybe chuck a straggling newbie a heal or lend a hand in defeating enemies. Also goes over some unacceptable behaviors, such as hate speech, great, spamming, harassment, or general abusive language towards other players. Okay, yeah. It feels like something between a gentle reminder and a stern warning against toxic behavior. It's mostly the sort of thing you already find buried deep in game's terms of service. Exactly what I was getting ready to say. Now, given its own spotlight, while that hasn't stopped some players from getting their knickers in a twist about the entire situation, most players appear either pretty receptive or largely apathetic to the change. Checking I agree on a box is unlikely to create any wider changes to some of WoW's core toxicity problems, unless Blizzard starts to take it more seriously. Hopefully, the social contract is a sign of that, and we'll start to see some enforcements for crappy behavior. Yeah. Oh, no way, dude. Clutch went out. Friday night on the way to camp. Oh, you got heat exhaustion, dude. That's really dangerous. Mm-hmm. Oh, dude. And then through your back. I've got an old back injury, man. I know how bad that can be. Uh, oh, that's terrible, buddy. Man, I'm so sorry, dude. When it rains, it pours. Yeah. Good night. That's rough. Um, well, I'm really sorry, man. I hope you're starting to feel better. Everybody, you need to be very, very careful. It is starting to get hot again. Be very, very careful. Heat exhaustion is a very, very dangerous thing. It's very dangerous. So make sure you're hydrating. Yeah. Um, plenty of water and stuff, and you know, pay attention to your body. That can be a very, very dangerous thing. So I'm glad you're doing better, buddy. And it's good to see you. Sorry you guys have been dealing with the car issues and stuff too. Vehicle issues suck, man. Pretty brutal. Pretty brutal. I haven't even really. How is Miss Bat's new gig going? Is she enjoying the new job? I don't think I've really seen her since because she started on the 24th, right? The reason I remember that is because that was our anniversary stream, a 1 year anniversary stream, and she had said that I think that's when she was going to start working, right? Um, is she enjoying the new gig? I don't think I've really seen her too much since then, if at all. And the stream was down for 2 days too, so um, yeah. Again, look, this is most games have a terms of service about what is acceptable and unacceptable within this type of behavior within their gaming and ecosystems and environments and communities and stuff. Yeah, yeah, it's rough to get back in that mode, right? Yeah, for sure. But I'm glad she's enjoying it. Yeah, I'm glad she likes it. But yeah, it's tough. It's tough to take that amount of time off and then get back into a gig for sure. I can understand that absolutely. Yeah. Um, so again, I think the thing to keep in mind here is that um, it's not about getting rid of some like trolly kind of competitive banter within between people. It's about removing all the hate speech and the discriminatory kind of talk that happens, singling people out for whether it be racial, sexual profiling, stuff like that, whatever. That kind of stuff is just unacceptable. It shouldn't be happening. And it's good to see games trying to take a better stance at keeping that stuff out of their environments. Um, I try to prompt as many people as possible to understand the very, you know, distinct difference between the two competitive banner, trolling people a little bit, and unacceptable kind of hate speech and stuff like that. Whenever I experience the unacceptable kind of stuff, I always go to great lengths to try to make sure that those individuals are banned out of those games. It's not needed. It's very toxic. It can affect people greatly, and there's no place for it. There's no need in it in our world. It's just people being hateful for no reason, to a great extent, and we need to just do away with that kind of stuff. Troll people out a little bit. If you got the better of somebody, that's what video gaming, competitive video gaming has been about that forever. You get the better of somebody, have a bit of fun with it. Troll them out a little bit. That's all right. But it crosses that line, that's where it's not acceptable anymore. In my opinion, that's how I feel about it. Uh, Don't Nod Entertainment is now named Don't Nod. There's now a space and an apostrophe. Fantastic. Has 6 games in development. Don't Nod Entertainment, the studio that brought us Life is Strange and Vampire, has been around for 14 years now. Anniversary has just passed, as a matter of fact, and to celebrate, the company has undergone a visual overhaul and a slight name change. It's now called Don't Nod. And it has a spiffy new logo to go along with the new name. Obviously, for most of us, it's an extremely minor shift, but the developers clearly chuffed with this new identity. I am very proud of the journey that Don't Nod has been on over the past 14 years, says CEO Oscar Gilbert in a press release. The company has evolved in many ways with a strong will to lead the way in creating and publishing meaningful entertainment through original and relatable stories, which empower our talents and players to inspire change, however small. This new brand's visual overhaul will help us convey our core identity. Indeed, the company has expanded with a new location in Canada, cool, and is shifting into the world of games publishing. In the same press release, it stated the studio has 6 internal projects in development right now and is working to self-publish these as well as help release some third-party games. The above video shows how Don't Nod intends to adopt the new logo to match each game, simultaneously teasing said titles. So it's all systems go over at Don't Nod. What do you make of the change? La la la. Cool. Okay. Well, seems like they're doing well enough. Yeah. I wonder what else they're working on. We'll have to keep tabs on old Don't Nod. See what they're up to. Oh, cool, 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 cool. Here we go. This man built a $30,000 game room modeled after a Star Citizen spaceship. I've actually seen a little bit of this before. This is wild. This is wild. Popular Thai YouTuber Banky loves Star Citizen. Even though Star Citizen will never. I am at this point with Star Citizen. I don't think that game will ever full release. I just don't. And apparently had an ungodly amount of money sitting around. The result, he built a $30,000 game room based on his favorite ship in Star Citizen, the Crusader Hercules. Towards the 5-minute mark in the video above, you see the construction process for this elaborate room, and Banky goes over the numerous revisions it took to achieve the space shuttle vibe. The process involved placing wood panels on a steel welded frame. It was first assembled at the architect's workshop before it was moved to Banky's studio. The spaceship room was built as an extension of Banky's studio and is accessed with automatic sliding doors, like in Star Trek or the grocery store. Really does look like you're boarding a spaceship from his office. All that's missing is the hiss and steam of decompression as you enter. The cockpit features 3 65-inch TVs as well as a curved display that acts as a dashboard for racing and flying games. Below the dashboard is a small HOTAS for flight games and a steering wheel for games like Forza. PC running the show is a $6,000 custom rig with an RTX 3090. Later in the video, you get a guided tour of the room, which has everything I'd expect from a $1 million bought, roughly $30,000 PC gaming room. You know, like a built-in kitchenette with space for a grill, air fryer, and electric kettle for making noodles. Sorry, space noodles. You want your own dope spaceship to play video games? Banky broke down the costs. Going on $1,000 just in LED lights. Most people would just love to have $1,000 to spend on like building or upgrading a computer, you know. Banky plans to use the spaceship room to create more gaming content. At the end of the video, Banky asks Elon Musk for a Tesla, for a collab, of course, and talks a bit about his success with passive income. We tend to take financial advice from popular YouTubers with a grain of salt, but maybe that's why our desks aren't outfitted with $860 worth of RGB lighting. Woo! These are each 65-inch TVs. That's crazy. Wild. That's wild. All right. Summer Games Fest 2022. Developers and publishers revealed. Yeah, so we're talking like closer to next weekend, not this coming weekend, but next weekend, is when all the summer, a lot of the Summer Games Fest and showcases from different developers and stuff like that are going to start popping off, right? And we will try to watch as many of them as possible that we're interested in seeing. We'll try to just take some days to just watch a lot of that content together, okay? As long as I'm able to co-stream it, that's the plan. Summer Game Fest kicks off on June 9th, and host Jeff Keighley has unveiled the full list of game publishers and studios participating in the event. Here it is. 2K, Activision Atlas, Bandai Namco, Bloober, Capcom, Coffee Stain, Deep Silver, Devolver. Devolver's always so good. Is that Digital Extremes, I think? Dotemu, EA, Epic Games, Focus Entertainment, Frost Giant, Humble Games, Level Infinite, Mediatonic, MiHoYo, Netflix, PlayStation, Raw Fury, Samsung Gaming Hub, Sega Square Enix, Skybound Games, Steam, Studio MDHR, Tribeca Festival, Warner Bros., Xbox. In a tweet posted above, Keighley states that SGF will feature events and updates from over 30 partners, with more to be announced. For now, the lineup includes everything that I just read. Now that we have a clear idea of which companies will have something to show, the speculation can begin. Will Bloober Team reveal its long-rumored Silent Hill project? Oh, we hope so. Or is it already announced the Layers of Fear sequel? Will Dotemu finally spilled the beans on a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge release date? Square Enix has already teased something Final Fantasy VII related for the event. Remake 2 reveal? Probably. We'll get all those answers and more next week. If you want to watch along, be sure to check out our June gaming showcase schedule. Keep up on what streams are happening and when. Yeah. I'm going to actually grab this and I'll throw it in chat. That way everybody has a nice comprehensive list of... I've got a couple of different sites. This will be a good one. Right there in chat. I've got another one here as well. There's a couple of nice sites right there with lists, so everybody will be aware of what showcases are happening when, basically from June through August. Most of them are in June, but there are a few in July and August. And that way, if you want to make sure that you're not going to miss some of the showcases that you're interested in seeing, they're right there in chat. Again, we'll try to watch as many of them as possible here in the channel together. So, I don't know. We'll as we get closer to those dates, we're talking like a week from now, we'll really start trying to nail down which ones we're going to co-stream and stuff, okay? Microsoft has announced details of June's Xbox system update. It introduces the ability for players to reveal details about secret achievements, including the title, achievement description, and gamer score. You will also see improvements to the speed and reliability of detecting available updates, both in your collection and when you launch a game. Eden Marie, an engineering lead at Xbox, wrote in a blog post published Tuesday. Earlier this week, Marie suggested it's unlikely Microsoft will bring back Xbox's Snap feature, which enabled Xbox One players to use a secondary app like YouTube on the right side of their screen while playing a game. While we all miss Snap, I don't think it's coming back, she tweeted. The feature was removed in 2017 in a bid to improve multitasking, reduce memory use, improve overall speed, and free up resources going forward for bigger things, according to former Xbox executive Mike Ibarra, who is now president of Blizzard Entertainment. Earlier on Tuesday, Microsoft dated the next wave of titles coming to Xbox Game Pass for console, PC, and Xbox Cloud Gaming, including Assassin's Creed Origins, Ninja Gaiden, Master Collection, and Chorus. Also announced June's Xbox Live games with gold titles, including Avon Colony, Project High Rise Architects Edition, Super Meat Boy, and Rascals, which we just went over. Yep. Cool. All right. Daily deals. $50 off Xbox Series S gaming console. $59 PS5 controller. $55 Nintendo Switch Pro controller, and more. You know, I really want to try one of these DualSense controllers. And I was in the market earlier, later last year for some new controllers, and I actually have two of these now. Same color and everything. But I have not been too happy. The bumper buttons break very easily. And I'm really careful with my equipment. Hey, thanks, buddy. Yo, Mr. Lil Bat. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. So I have to, I'll show you. I actually have replacement bumper button pieces for my Xbox controllers because they break all the time and I have to replace them. I don't know if it's because I like Paul Bunyan the things and just mash them too hard or what, but I don't even use controllers that often, and my bumper buttons break all the time. There are these. I'll actually show you. The part that breaks is the same part that breaks right here. These little tabs that are hanging down. It'll break on one side or the other inside of the controller, which prevents the button from depressing. And the only thing you can do is replace it. It's not a hard thing to do, but it also feels bad. Yo, no, you're good. No, you're good, buddy. No worries. Thanks for the follow, man. So I'm talking like within a month of buying these controllers and not even using them that often, those started breaking. And so I have replacement parts laying around because I have to fix the controllers. It just feels bad. And I wanted to try PS5, the new PS5 DualSense controllers, but at the time I was buying the Xbox controllers, these were never below $70 a piece. And I have heard things about a lot of button stick, really bad stick drift in these. So I opted for the Microsoft. But I will probably buy one of these before too long and give it a test and see how I feel about it. See how it holds up in comparison to the Xbox controller. I don't know. I've always been more of a fan of PlayStation products, Sony PlayStation stuff, console-wise, because I haven't really had any issue with their products over the years, whereas I've had a lot of different issues with Xbox stuff. So, I don't know. I'll let everybody know after I get my hands on a DualSense 5 controller, and I'll let you know how I feel about it. That's a pretty one, though. I like that color right there. Today, both Amazon and Adorama are hosting some great deals on the Xbox Series S console. This was yesterday. At Amazon, you can pick it up. The sales are probably still going on. I don't know. Pick it up bundled with Elden Ring for a $40 discount. At Adorama, you can pick up the console by itself for $50 off. In other deal news, the Sony Days of Play PS5 DualShock deal for $59 is still alive. Runs through June 8th. Yeah, there you go. The Switch Pro controller has dropped to $55. You can purchase a 12-month Nintendo Switch family membership and get a free 128 gig memory card. Nice. Amazon is offering a hefty discount when you buy the current gen Xbox Series S console and the Elden Ring game together as a bundle. The Xbox Series S normally retails for $300. Elden Ring game normally retails for $60. Elden Ring game comes in the form of a digital code. Elden Ring has been critically acclaimed just about everywhere. We also gave the game a perfect score on IGN. See, I disagree. I'm not going to get into this right now, but I disagree. Elden Ring is a very difficult game to master. It will test your patience and resolve, just like From Software's Dark Souls and Demon Souls titles. Solely based on the fact that the PC port was absolutely terrible, I cannot believe that a 10 out of 10 score is given. I don't care what you played it on. It is a well-known fact the PC port was abysmal. It performed terribly. It was not optimized or even created for PC, even though it was released on PC. And to have somebody go 10 out of 10, it's nothing could have been better. I disagree highly. I'll get off my kick. Test your patience and resolve, just like From Software's Dark Souls and Demon Souls titles. Yeah, Mr. Little Bat. Yeah, that's actually, I still have my original Xbox. It needs to have a. I need to. It's the only old console I have that is not currently functioning. I think. I need to pop it out and take a look. The old Xboxes, they had an issue with some of the CD drives where the lens in the optical drive would burn up eventually, and I think that's where mine's at right now. So I probably just need to get a replacement optical drive thrown in it, which isn't a big deal. But yeah, that's not a bad idea, man. It's not a bad idea. Yeah, and I mean, kudos to, because if I remember correctly, the new Xbox basically can play any. It's completely backwards compatible, right? Oh, give me a break, dude. How did that even get through there? Yo, King of Sticks, get wrecked, dude. Idiot. Everybody I know that plays on Xbox can play all the old NES games that we all grew up on. Wait. Oh yeah, man, for sure. Yeah. From what I understand, and that's one of the areas where I've been really harping on PlayStation here lately. I'm pretty sure the Xbox, new Xbox is completely backwards compatible. I'm pretty sure, and that's an amazing thing that Microsoft is doing. Um, the Series X and Series S are backwards compatible with games from all Microsoft's previous consoles, but not all such titles. Okay. The PS5 obviously is only backwards compatible with PS4. Um, Even though here's the thing, it's been confirmed that PlayStation absolutely has the ability already to make the PS5 backwards compatible with PS1 and PS2. They're just not doing it. PS3 is a different story. It would take a bit more money and resources, manpower, to get it done. Um, but PlayStation is trying to get people to buy into their subscription service. So they, and part of their subscription service, their new subscription service, is bring in those old vintage titles, right? Um, which feels bad to me because as somebody who I hold on to all my old gaming stuff, right? I have plenty of like PS1, PS2 titles, things like that, hard copies, right? Um, it feels bad that PlayStation doesn't create their new consoles in a way which makes them backwards compatible and wants us to basically pay double to play the games that we already own. I don't want to have to bust out my PS1 or PS2 every single time I want to play one of my old games. Um, and as far as I'm concerned, I own those titles, and if I own those titles, There's no reason why I shouldn't be able to play it in a new console. So, uh, to me, it's just a way for them to be money hungry, and try to get us to pay a second time for things that we already own, which feels really bad. Um, where is the Xbox at? Now, one of the things you can do is if you get your hands at this point, if you actually need a console to play um, older PlayStation games, this is one of the things we've talked about. The first editions of the PlayStation 3 are backwards compatible with PlayStation 2 and PlayStation 1. But only the first editions that came out, the big chonky boys like this. From what I understand, these are the ones that are backwards compatible with PS2 and PS1 games. Whereas these guys are only backwards compatible with like PS1, I think. Something like that. The Series X and Series S play original Xbox, Xbox 360, and Xbox One games. Four generations of games stretching back to the first console's 2001 launch. Doesn't include literally everything. Microsoft has a comprehensive list of the games that play on its new consoles, and titles that require its defunct Kinect motion sensor won't work at all. To celebrate the 20th anniversary of the original Xbox on November 15th, the company added more than 70 games to its backwards compatibility catalog. It noted that this would be the last batch of old games it would make playable on its new consoles. Okay. So I wonder how many games they actually have on the list. Let's see this. Fantastic. I'm sure we could find it somewhere. I'm not going to dive into it right now, but I mean, that's a big thing for me as far. I mean, I'm primarily a PC gamer. I have been for the majority of my life, but I've always enjoyed consoles as well. And to me, it feels really bad that we collect these games on from one generation of console to the next, but these companies don't uh, take a dedicated approach at trying to make sure that their new gen consoles can play all the games that we own from the old generation of consoles. And instead, quite often they try to pull scammy stuff like, oh, we've got a subscription service, and if you buy into the subscription service, you can play the old vintage PS1 games. Where it's like I already own the ones that I want to play. Just let me play it on your new console. Um, I hate that. I hate that. So I don't know. I'll continue to gripe about that. It is what it is, but I understand it's a business and everything. But at the same time, I'm not paying for a game twice. I own those games. Exactly, Mr. Little Bat. Yeah, I've been. So many of us have been loyal customers to that company for years and years and years. There's no reason that we should have to buy a game a second time just because it is now considered it's a game that played on a previous console. The technology's there. For PlayStation, the only one which they need to still work on is PS3 to make, for compatibility with PS5. They're just not incorporating, at least for PS1 and PS2, and that feels terrible. It just feels terrible. And this is what we talk about quite often about these major gaming companies only being worried about money, and they completely lose sight. Look, I get it's a business and everything, but they are not hurting, man. They're making a lot of money, and they lose sight of what it means to, for so many of us that have been loyal customers over the years and still own those old games. They forget to have any kind of, you know, view of what it means to create games and content and consoles, whatever, for us as gamers, for the industry as gaming. You know, it's just money, just money. But if you're interested, there's some decent deals right here. Um, I'll throw this in chat. You guys take a look. So a few decent deals going on right now. I really want to get my hands on a DualSense controller at some point this year and give it a test. I've always enjoyed the layout of PlayStation controllers better than Xbox controllers personally. It's just a preference. Just a preference. All right. eFuse acquires prominent gaming news destination esports.gg and their catalog of at esports social channels. Esports.gg will continue to independently serve its 500,000 plus unique readers who load 1.5 million monthly page views while they establish a community hub for eFuse's growing calendar of branded events and community tournaments. Please, man. Esports infrastructure startup eFuse today announced the acquisition of international esports media outlet esports.gg and all of its assets. While financial terms of the deal were not disclosed, the acquisition is eFuse's third and largest to date, trailing the purchase of the Collegiate Carball Association and College COD in Q4 of 2021. After enjoying unrivaled demand across its events, community tournaments, and talent-led broadcasts last year, eFuse recognized the need for a dedicated content team that could properly support its growing community of gamers and brand partners. In 2021, eFuse recorded so much growth across our brand arena tournaments and league business that we acquired esports.gg to help create a central destination for our jam-packed calendar, said Matthew MJB Benson, CEO of eFuse. Esports.gg is going to help accelerate revenue opportunities by introducing original content formats and around-the-clock coverage of our biggest events. We're set for a record-breaking year and thrilled to welcome their help in reimagining how we work with the market's top brands, while maintaining editorial independence on how, if, and when the site covers market news, including that of its new parent company, esports.gg, will create a new content section that will serve the latest details and tune in information for all of eFuse's events. That content will be clearly labeled, and all eFuse-supported editorial will carry the popular disclaimers to ensure readers recognize the relationship between both brands. Additionally, eFuse will relaunch esports.gg's social channels under the market's definitive @esports handle. New resources, leadership, and oversight will ensure its creator-first policies maintain content integrity across all published posts. Esports.gg's TikTok channel, however, will remain dormant. Comprised of mostly freelancers, the acquisition will welcome esports.gg's entire editorial team of 35, including esports.gg's editor-in-chief Lawrence Malastrix Phillips. To be acquired just a year after starting this project is a testament to the dedicated team we rallied together and the qualified, insightful, and entertaining content they produce for our dedicated daily readers, said Lawrence. Esports.gg's editor-in-chief. This is still the dawn of esports.gg, but becoming part of the eFuse family will supercharge our growth, allowing us to expand our team, cover more titles, improve our platform, and ultimately build our early success as a news and analysis outlet. Considering all the constraints the gaming media market is under, the additional resources we now manage mean we're definitely here to stay. It's an incredibly exciting time to be part of esports.gg, and the future is looking bright. In the coming months, eFuse will be integrating their high school, collegiate, influencer, and professional events onto the esports.gg platform. eFuse will also be providing the esports.gg team the opportunities and resources to cover international offline events and accelerate their esports careers. There will also be new job openings in the editorial, social, and video development to reinforce an already qualified team and further scale esports.gg. eFuse's mission is to create a world where anyone can change their life through gaming. That's awesome. That's awesome. Said Helena Blondevenom Malik, who will lead the esports.gg team as head of content at eFuse. Esports.gg is the perfect platform to expand that mission across the globe. I'm elated to welcome such an elite editorial team to the eFuse family as we take esports.gg to the next level. Cool. Very nice. You know, I mean, what I can't help but think about here. Help! Word salad attack. Oh man. What's up, Varya? What's up, Buddha? You know, what I can't help but think about here in this article is the entire culmination of what's happening around gaming being accepted and incorporated as a legitimate sport nowadays, right? We see it happening in educational institutions across the board, right? Where teams are being built, they're getting competitive, they're going against other teams just like any other sport would be. And if you take a look at, you know, a very popular, take for instance, like ESPN, right? ESPN um, very quickly became a very popular sports news agency, right? And with how massive gaming is growing across the board, the industry, and the fact that the competitive side of it is being really embraced now as an actual sport, and you know, that stigma that was held for so long that you can't do anything with gaming, you can't make anything for yourself out of gaming. That is gone, right? So having these agencies kind of grow and become bigger regarding reporting on gaming as an actual, you know, industry and a sport especially, and you know, holding these tournaments, and this is actually something that is going to be uh, very prominent and big moving forward. I can't help but like attribute it to like how, you know, ESPN started as like a little news agency, and it got bigger and bigger and bigger because they were so good about reporting on uh, sports news around the world comprehensively, all encompassing, right? And I really truly think you're going to see the same thing happen with gaming. It's already started, but who knows? Maybe, you know, this entire agency here um, with eFuse is going to be, as it were, ESPN for the gaming industry. Who knows? You know, that's what I can't help but think of, though. 16 exciting new games coming to Switch in June. Okay, we'll skim this real quick. Silt. Oh, this looks wild. Finally made it to June. We're incredibly excited about what's ahead over the next 30 days. Mario Striker series is making a return on 10th of June. Fall Guys is finally getting a release on the Switch as a free-to-play title on 21st of June. Sonic is back with another collection on the 23rd. Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes will follow the day after. And to top it off, we've got DLC for both Monster Hunter Rise and Cuphead coming out on 30th. Yeah, this new Cuphead is supposed to be pretty good. A new playable character, um, a lot of new content as well. Full lineup of what's ahead. Silt on June 1st. The Big Con on the 2nd of June. Lamplight City, 2nd of June. Card Shark, 2nd of June. We've heard about this. Wonder Boy Collection, 3rd of June. Mario Strikers Battle League on the 10th of June. Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba, the Hinokami Chronicles on 10th of June. Fall Guys, 21st of June. This is actually going to be, it's switching over to be on Epic as well for PC. It'll no longer be on Steam, but it will be a free-to-play title, yeah? Wreckfest on 21st of June. Cool. Wreckfest actually looks like it could be a lot of fun. Maybe we need to start trying to get down with some Wreckfest in the community at some point. Shadowrun Trilogy on the 21st of June. Sonic Origins on the 23rd of June. Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes on the 24th of June. AI, The Somnium Files, Nirvana Initiative, 24th of June. And Rabbids Party of Legends, 30th of June. And Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak, 30th of June. And Cuphead, The Delicious Last Course, 30th of June. Capcom Fighting Collection, 24th of June. Oh, dude. What was the name of this game? Oh god. I can't think of the game that this character is out of. Um, I had it on PS1. PS1 or PS2. I can't think of the name of it right now. But that was a fun game. So there you go. If you want to take a better look at these games coming to Switch, there's the article in chat. Okay, guys. Let's see what this is about. Viewed Air Console collaborate to bring casual gaming to the TV. Aiming to offer TV service providers additional ways to enhance their content offerings, OTT and hybrid TV solutions provider Viewed Software has announced a strategic partnership with Air Console designed to simplify the distribution of casual gaming services in the TV market. Air Console is a cloud based video game console developed by Zurich based startup InDream. New players can take advantage of the platform's freemium starter pack, which offers a selection of free games every week. The full catalog offers more than 180 games to satisfy all audiences, from racing game aficionados to sports and quiz lovers and more. The gaming system will now offer integration with Viewed's content offering, enabling enabling pay TV operators, smart TV device manufacturers, and in-vehicle infotainment system vendors to add gaming services to their user experience. The cloud-based solution has recently been deployed by Evoca, a next-gen TV service in the U.S. Quote, as TV service providers look for additional ways to enhance their content offerings, casual gaming has become an increasingly popular option, said Anthony Cliquot, Chief Operating Officer leading the development of strategic partnerships at Air Console. Integrating our multiplayer gaming system with Viewed's content offering allows providers to enrich their TV service, attract hard-to-reach Generation Y and Z audiences, and create a multi-generational quality time for their users, without making a significant investment in servers or needing to deploy additional hardware. Viewed's content platforms, Viewed OS for smart TV, Viewed OpX for pay TV, and the Viewed for automotive in-vehicle entertainment solution now have inbuilt support for Air Console casual gaming on both Android and Linux. With joint solution, TV service providers can create a dedicated gaming section in their UX or expand upon existing gaming capabilities. No additional hardware is required to launch the gaming services, as the solution uses subscribers' smartphones as the controller. Casual gaming market is forecast to reach more than 23 billion US in revenue by 2026, and we are excited to lead the charge in helping customers launch these revenue-enhancing services, added Amanda Olison, Vice President of Content Partnership at Viewed. Air Console is a leading gaming platform for the pay TV market with over 1 million monthly active players. Their cloud-based approach to gaming perfectly complements our software, bringing cutting-edge, modern entertainment experiences to subscribers in a simple, affordable way. Okay. I wonder what all kinds of notable titles they might have. Yeah, wild. Okay, cool. We'll see if we catch more of this in the uh, future news segments. Yeah, everybody's working their way into gaming, man. It's where it's at. Last news segment or last news article. Okay, if anybody has anything else that you would like to bring up for us to cover in the news segment that maybe I haven't hit on, let me know while I move through this last one. Okay. China video gaming crackdown. No new titles approved in May, signaling continued Beijing hostility. China's video gaming regulator did not announce any new titles approved for sale in the mainland for May, dashing hopes that the 45 game list issued in April signaled more regulatory leniency after an 8-month licensing freeze. Yeah. The National Press and Publication Administration, The authority responsible for licensing video games has typically issued a list of newly approved titles every month, with the exception of 2 months long licensing freezes since 2018. The list's absence in May is more conspicuous since the industry cheered the end of the most recent licensing freeze the previous month. Now, the industry fears Beijing has no intent of returning to how it handled video games before kicking off its latest crackdown last summer. Even the list in April consisted mostly of titles from small companies, and it did not come close to the size of a typical list before the freeze, which might have contained 100 titles. The suspension from July 2021 to April 2022 led to the closure of at least 14,000 small studios. Other studios, including those at gaming giants Tencent Holdings and NetEase, have been shifting their focus to overseas markets. Long2 Game, a Beijing based mobile game developer with more than 600 staff members, told the South China Morning Post that it plans to launch more games for global audiences after previously focusing mostly on the mainland market. In its most recent earnings call, NetEase founder and CEO William Ding Lai said he hoped that the overseas market would eventually account for 40 to 50% of the company's revenue. The current proportion is just over 10%, he said. We carry internal goals to have the appropriate proportion for home and overseas markets in terms of profit structure and numbers of games over the next 3 to 4 years, Ding said. The operator of China's second largest video game business recently announced its first US based studio in Texas. The difficulty of getting new games approved in a maturing market has made China a hostile environment for gaming companies. The licensing freeze was also accompanied by a strict new limit for players under the age of 18, who since last September have legally only been allowed to play on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and statutory holidays from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Yeah. So, virtually 1 hour of online gaming for anybody under the age of 18 that is a Chinese citizen. 1 hour of online play Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and on certain holidays. We're talking 3 hours a week. 3 hours a week, regulated online gameplay. Could you imagine? I can't. My youth would have been destroyed. My youth would have been obliterated. Um, Even though larger companies have been able to better weather the storm, the crackdown has left a dent, excuse me. Tencent, which operates the world's largest video gaming business by revenue, said its domestic gaming revenue fell 1% in the first quarter from the previous year. China's gaming industry is going through a fierce natural selection process, said Lao Zhua. I probably butchered that, I'm sorry. There will be a lot of companies that we are familiar with losing mainstream attention, but there will also be companies becoming more profitable. Shanghai-based Sinley Games, a studio that pivoted in December to building metaverse-related technologies, in part because of the licensing freeze, has not been successful in its transition, CEO Ding Jinqing said, because metaverse is just worlds we've already had. Probably. Our transition has been interrupted by the COVID 19 outbreak, which caused a huge loss, he said, referring to the ongoing disruptions in Shanghai, which instituted a citywide lockdown in April. It may look like gaming is not affected, but the productivity of working from home is very low. This article originally appeared in the South China Morning Post, the most authoritative voice reporting on China and Asia for more than a century. For more SCMP stories, yep. Yeah, I mean, we've been covering this China crackdown on gaming for ever since we've been doing news segments, and it doesn't seem. I think that was the thing was back in April whenever they gave out their like 40 licenses for new games to finally be released. Everybody thought that they were kind of over that hump, right, in China, and we're going to see more licenses be rolled out, but apparently not. they are cracking down really hard on the video game industry over there from a governmental standpoint, and it's had a catastrophic effect on many of the developers in that nation. As we saw in the article, we're talking 14,000 smaller developers that have gone out of business because of this, right? And it's even the major companies like Tencent. I think it was Tencent that had to shut down their streaming service because it wasn't going to be able to survive. They just knew it, and instead of just hemorrhaging more money through that branch, they decided to go ahead and just close it down, right? And to the point of even making it to where anybody under the age of 18 can only play what three hours of online games each week. I'm not sure exactly what China's significant issue is with the gaming industry, but they are not liking it. That is for sure. And we'll continue to cover everything that we can on that front, how it progresses. But they're holding firm. They're holding firm over there in regards to all the regulations they're putting in place regarding the gaming industry, right? That's all I have, guys. That's all I have for today. It was a long news segment today, but that's okay as long as what we're coming across is pertinent. News segments are going to vary in time. I expected yesterday to be a longer one because the stream was down the past 2 days ahead of yesterday, or the previous 2 days ahead of yesterday, and we just didn't come across a lot. And then here's today, and we had a significant amount of articles, which was good. I love the news segment. Thank you to everybody for being part of it. As always, for always being a part of what we do here. I appreciate it. They think with significant justification it's better for kids to be out playing and doing stuff with friends than hunched up inside in front of a screen. I don't even know if it's as much of that. China has traditionally been a very Syke, what's up, buddy? I need to talk to you, Syke, after we close up the news section here. I need to ask you a question. How are you, buddy? I think it's more along the lines of traditional. China traditionally has been very, very education oriented, right? And this is just my thought. I'm doing well, but I'm getting better, man. I'm getting better. I still don't feel close to 100%, but oh, really? A trailer just dropped? Okay, Metal. Thanks, buddy. I'll maybe pull it up. We'll probably watch it after I close the news segment. Right there in chat, though, guys, a trailer just dropped for the new Pokemon Scarlet Violet. But we'll watch it after I close the news segment before we start up Valheim. My wonder is that if maybe China as a government saw that video gaming was taking precedence for much of the youth over what traditionally had been seen as because they're very, very dedicated to education, right? I mean, I'm talking like even when they're not in school during the day, they were always working on education, right? And what? How many teaspoons of flour do you put in your tea? What? Why do you put flour in your tea? Wait, am I missing something? Hold on, man. I think that might be the play. It's not so much kids needing to go outside and play. It's the fact that maybe they saw gaming as being a hindrance to their traditions of being so educational focused, right? The 5-head move, is that what it is? You guys are wild. And okay, you're just okay, psych. Okay, children. That's just my guess. That has kind of been my theory up to this point. You could be right. You could be correct, Varya. It could be a combination of both things. Again, traditionally, gaming for the longest time has been had these negative connotations around it, that it's just a waste of time and it's not something that can benefit people, right? So it seems to me like China has stuck to those notions, even though there has been plenty of research, proven research, that shows that video games can be very good, right? We talk about this a lot, though. Um, as with anything in life, consumed in excess, it can be a negative thing for certain people's lives. Uh, but a lot of the negative connotations that have stereotyping and connotations that have well, you talk about, if you're saying it can be, but what percentage, um, in regards to it being a bad thing, right? It, I think it's different for each individual person. It's about moderation for your own life, right? And people have to find out what that is. Yeah. Um, but again, I think that China has just held on to those notions that um, overall gaming is just bad, right? Whereas, again, research has proven it's not. There are numerous benefits to gaming, and I don't think you're going to be able to prevent where gaming is taking us, right? I just don't think you can. And I think that's where they're at. I think they just have a huge issue with uh, seeing gaming as a negative instead of what can be a positive, and they want their youth to maintain that traditional focus on education for the most part. I think is where they're at. And yeah, Varia, I mean, we talk about this a lot, right? And you're saying can be, but what percentage, and for what percentage of people, right? As far as um, are you speaking in reference to what I said about um, video games being a negative for some people, or being consumed in, needing to be consumed in moderation? Is that what you're saying? Um, or what were you speaking to specifically? I'm gonna pull up this link so we can watch this after I end the news segment. Well, I mean, there's been plenty of research out there that shows that video games, especially specific type like strategy games, and even games such as Valheim, that help you with building, especially physics based in Valheim. Um, it gets your mind working in different areas, right? Such as the parts of your brain that have to do with engineering and building, right? And or in particular, like video games can be very, very beneficial in cognitive functioning. I've done a 20 plus page paper. Uh, well, that's what I'm getting at. Um, Look, there are always going to be variables to consider, right? But I have done a significant 20 plus page paper of my own based on factual research in regards to psychology, right? Well, yeah, of course. What I'm getting at, though, Varia, is that there has traditionally been a stigma around video games that only places it in a negative light, right? And that's not necessarily the case, right? Now, what I can tell you for a fact is that playing based on my own research that I've done on scientifically proven research is that human beings across the board, age range doesn't matter, sex doesn't matter, playing an hour to 2 hours a day of real-time strategy games significantly increases cognitive functioning in human beings. I can't remember the percentage of increase, but it's an increase nonetheless, right? So that's just one specific area where I'm saying that like video games can benefit humans, right? Now, again, there have been negative connotations in regards to video games across the board, and anything consumed in excess can be bad, right? I'm not saying that every single video game you play is going to enhance you, turn you into a superhuman, right? No, it wouldn't. That's a 1 hour limit, 3 days a week. And again, we're not taking into consideration single player games or anything like that. So 1 hour limit is a 1 hour limit that they have put Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That's not allowing you to play a game on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. All right. There are a lot of variables. But one of the things we are not talking about here as well is that that is only online games. They're not talking about single player games or offline games. Offline games, they can't regulate, right? So look, there's just a lot of, what I'm getting at is that, to me, the way it seems is that they are just, they've got a dedicated view at video games being a negative, all-encompassing, a negative thing for especially their youth. And while I think at the core, and this is just me talking, at the core of it, I think that many negative connotations that have surrounded video gaming over the years have been negated and proven wrong. But as with anything in life, anything consumed in excess, which excess is going to vary from person to person, can be bad, right? Can be bad. So that's my view, right? And that's what this community is about, is we're not always going to have the same views and beliefs and but I love having the discussion, and I could very well be wrong. I've been wrong plenty of times in my life. That's just the way it comes off to me, right? That's the way it comes off to me. And I mean, the thing is, they're not only, this isn't a matter of their government only taking aim at their younger population, right? They've literally made it to where they've put 14,000 small game developers out of business. They're regulating things across the board. It's not just an aim at their youth. It's an aim at gaming industry as a whole that they've put these tight constraints and regulations on. So that's why, to me, it seems like they've got a bit of an agenda against video games, as it were. Again, I could be wrong. That's just the way it comes off to me. Yeah. We'll watch the Pokemon video after I close this up, wrap this up. We can continue to discuss. I love having these discussions. And Varia, I'm not saying that you're wrong by any means. You could definitely be on the right track. A lot of variables go into it. A lot of variables. So we can continue to have these discussions. I love discussing these kinds of things with you guys. It's one of the things that I think is so great about us going over these news segments and staying current on what's going on in the industry. And it creates, and I'm not always, the thing for me is, what's so great about us having discussions about these topics and everything is that everybody tends to see things from a different point of view, kind of, right? And the community brings up great points quite often that I'm not going to be thinking about, and it's kind of eye-opening for me, right? So I appreciate having input and discussion, dialogue about a lot of these things that we come across. I really do. That'll be it for news. We'll probably continue to talk about this a little bit as we game and things like that, which is cool. So I don't know if you're viewing this as a VOD later on YouTube, you're enjoying the content. See what you can do about coming and hanging out with us when we do these live every day at 6 a.m. CST. And also consider hitting that like and subscribe button, and maybe leave me a comment so we can have some offline discussion, I guess, about some of these topics that we came over today or went over today. Okay. We're going to move on to some gaming stuff, but if you are viewing this as a VOD, then stay healthy, stay safe, be kind to one another, and we will catch everybody tomorrow for our next segment of video gaming news. All right.